We're continuing to follow developing news out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, where a plane crashed into a home just after noon today, killing all on board, according to the FAA. The plane left Des Moines International Airport in Iowa, and it went down in a residential area just 5 miles where it was supposed to land at the Anoka County Blaine Airport. At this time, investigators have not said how many people were on board. The FAA and NTSB are now leading the investigation. Governor Tim Walz says his team is monitoring the situation closely and thanks first responders for their swift action. Neighbors sharing this video moments right after the crash, where flames can be seen reaching above 2 stories with black smoke being visible from miles away. That home tonight completely devastated. Our sister station in Minneapolis heard from Brooklyn Park's mayor after the incident.
City, we're grateful there are no casualties within the actual residence itself. Heart goes out to the families of folks that were in the plane. But I will say that as a community and as a city, we're very much going to surround the families that have been affected by this. Our heart very much goes out to them.
We've also obtained this security video from a nearby home, which shows what appears to be the plane plummeting from the sky. We got in touch with an aviation expert, a former NTSB investigator, who shares what he thinks could have gone wrong.
The way the airplane gets into that position is an aerodynamic stall. That's not an engine stall. That's actually where the wing stops flying because of a lack of airspeed and flow over the wing to create lift. Then gravity takes over. The weight of the aircraft is now heading to the ground, and typically it is in a very vertical 80-90 degree.
After several hours, some residents saying they were so close to the crash site, they thought it was their homes getting hit.
Homes. And the people inside were shaken this afternoon.
I was in my kitchen, and all of a sudden I heard this big boom, louder than I've ever heard.
A small plane crashed into this home in Brooklyn Park.
Could have happened to any house in here.
About a dozen people who live nearby told us they heard the boom.
It sounded like a gas explosion, and I went looking around my house to see if it was my house.
Some told us they were worried it was their residence that caught fire.
I was asking my kids what's going on. Is the house falling or something today? One of my daughter came and said, "Hey, Mom, there's a crash just around our house."
But as they learned more, they realized it was a neighbor whose home was lost.
And it sounded like it was a sputtering sound of an engine of a plane.
The people living there got out all right. There were no survivors inside of the plane.
I'm so sad for, the life that are in there, that somebody's family.
Now, a home sits in ruins in the middle of a shaken neighborhood.
Investigators say the ensuing fire from the crash will complicate the search for evidence, as much of it may be destroyed.